What you got to say this morning? Well, I think that it's a good thing that I'm here and that you posted my picture with Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evett. That's right. I think it was really good that you let me be there because I was part of the interview. She was actually more interested in talking to me than she was in talking to you. Do you really think that? She goes, yes, I do. And that is why soon I will be taking over the show. All right, Penny. Well, if that's what you think here this morning, isn't that interesting? That is very interesting. Actually, we had an excellent interview yesterday afternoon. Penny opened up the show here. If you didn't get to watch it now, you need to go back and watch it. She is sitting up right there telling you why she is most important because she got her picture taken with Lieutenant Governor, and the Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evett would have probably been just as happy to have had to have just gotten a picture with Penny. Is that right? Well, it seems like it could be true. Seems like it could be true, isn't it? You're becoming quite a star, aren't you? Yes, I am. I'm going to need my own show, not be part of your show. Really? I had no idea you felt that way. I thought we were a team. Well, except when it comes to doing what I want to do. So, Penny, would you like to say good morning? Say hi? Say hi, Penny. There you go. Penny said hi there to everybody this morning. She is sitting right here beside me. She got groomed on Friday. She looks pretty spectacular. That's right. She had a big day yesterday. Lieutenant Governor had a great interview with her. I highly recommend you go back and watch it right now. It's on our Facebook page, WCRS Radio. But it will also be, probably by tonight, will be on our website, WCRS1450am.net. So check that interview out. I had a lot of questions for Pam. She told me it wasn't speed dating, it was speed politicking. We covered a lot of topics, and she answered the questions. So if you want to know what she thinks, and we covered a lot of topics, so I don't know if we covered everyone, but we sure covered a lot of them. One of the ones that people were most interested in, that I had the most questions about after the interview from people, was how she felt about the gambling issue. She has an interesting, in my opinion, she has an interesting take, and I'm going to paraphrase it here because I haven't had a chance to pull out any clips, but we will get some clips pulled out of it. But her take on it is that each county, each district should come up with what they want to do. Kind of like we have dry counties and we have drinking counties. The same type of thing. If a county or a district wants to have gambling, then they should do a local referendum. She does not think that a statewide referendum is the way to go about it. But I thought that was an interesting approach. So her thing is, I asked her if a bill came across her desk, would she sign it? And that was the answer that she gave. She thought that a referendum in the local, so if Greenwood County wanted to have gambling, oh my goodness, I'm going to sneeze. She said Greenwood County wanted to have gambling, then this Greenwood County could vote for it or not vote for it. Just like when we voted on whether to have Sunday liquor sales or alcohol by drink, all these different things have been left to the counties. And so that is how Pam is viewing this. Now, this is a hot topic, so you'll have to decide where you fall on that one. Most every other issue, I think most people are going to align with. That one may be a question for a lot of people, but again, what do you have to look at? You have to look at the person in total. on how you feel about this. Definitely feels we should be employing AI to help get our all our spending and the economic side of things in line to be able to streamline some of the services. She thinks, and again, you can go back and listen to the interview yourself. She thinks we ought to sunset all the regulations and then go back and put them in. Now, that's not a bad idea. Do you realize there are 80,000 regulations in our state? And a lot of them are causing a lot of issues. So, again, she thinks sunsetting and then putting back those that are necessary. You know, as long as you didn't have anybody trying to get anything approved during that period, I guess that would be good. But anyways, she had some interesting ideas, and she did share them right here on WCRS. It's probably, in my opinion, one of the interviews where she gave the most in-depth answers to questions that I have heard. Maybe it was because I asked the questions. Maybe it was because I wanted the answers. I don't know, but it was a good interview. If you are considering Pamela Evitt, or if you had not considered Pamela Evitt, you should go back and listen to this interview, watch the interview. As I said, it is on Facebook WCRS page, and it is also will be by tonight. It will be on our website, WCRS1450am.net. So check that out. Penny did a great job. She has decided she is not going in her room when other people are here. She is going to sit in her chair and stare them down. That's right. I have to tell everybody, now don't talk to her, don't jazz her up. And she's like, why not? I want to be talked to. Is that what you're saying, Penny? Oh my God, she is just a hoot. It's too bad you're not watching. If you're watching this, you can just see she's got her back to me now, turning and looking around at me. Okay, now she's turning around. Okay, we got a lot to talk about here this afternoon, or this morning, so I guess we ought to get to it. Number one, looks like they have a juvenile in detention for shooting on Cresswell from a week, 10 days ago. So that is a good thing. The juvenile has been sent down to Columbia, to the detention center down there. Keep in mind on this now, folks, that this, when they send a juvenile down to Columbia, it costs us here in Greenwood $150 a day for them to be kept down there in that situation. So, but they are off the street. This is an update from the Greenwood Police Department. Juvenile charged in Cresswell Avenue shooting on April 7th. Officers responded to the intersection of Cresswell Avenue and McLeese Avenue in reference to a reported shooting. Upon arrival, officers located a male suffering from a gunshot wound. The victim was transported to a local hospital for treatment. Following an investigation, detectives have charged a 15-year-old male with attempted murder and possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. The juvenile has been transported to the Department of Juvenile Justice in Columbia. Detectives are continuing to investigate this incident, and additional arrests may be forthcoming. Anyone with information related to this incident is encouraged to contact the Greenwood Police Department, 864-942-8407. That's 864-942-8407. We have had way too many shootings. But here's the thing. A 15-year-old had the gun. I think that is the thing. So where did he get the gun from? One of the places that they get guns from cars with unlocked doors that have guns sitting in them. So you can help a lot. It's the little things that we do that can help a lot. Taking those guns and not leaving them in an unlocked car would help for getting guns off the street. I don't know where this came from. I was just bringing that up because every time we have the sheriff or the police chief on, that is one of the things that they bring up. So I just thought I would bring that up. All right, that's last night also going on was a fundraiser for David Stumbo. I didn't know David Stumbo could sing, you know. He was raising funds for his campaign for Attorney General. I guess sometimes you just got to sing, but he has a great voice, and I was leaving, and I thought somebody else was singing, and no, it was David up there singing. So, you know, I don't know whether he had a hat out there, whether he was gathering any donations or not, but a real nice group and a large group of people over there at Fat Daddy's eating barbecue and talking to Solicitor Stumbo as he looks to make his way to the state office. You know, you got to commend anybody that throws their name in the hat. It's a hard, hard job. It is very grueling. And most people still have a job that they have to be on the job for. So, from that standpoint, I commend anybody that does this. So there you go. All right, now I gotta go off track here just because this is in my Facebook feed and I want to share it. Does anybody remember? You know, when on Hee Haw BR 549. Remember one of the most unlikely and beloved TV stars who ever lived on his heavenly birthday. We're talking about the one and only Junior Samples, born Alvin Samples Jr. on April 10th, 1926 in Cumming, Georgia. Gone but not forgotten. And they have a story on Facebook about how that started with that called BR 549. It says it's one of the purest stories in American television. Junior Samples was a 6th grade dropout, a carpenter, a sawmill worker, a stock car driver, a moonshiner, a fisherman, and the most gifted teller of tales in Cummings, Georgia, which is saying something. He never expected to be famous. He was just Junior. Then one day, around 1966, when he was 40 years old, Junior went on a local radio and told a story about catching the biggest fish anyone had ever seen at Lake Lanier. It was complete nonsense. It was hilarious. Someone recorded it, and the recording somehow made it to the legendary Chet Atkins in Nashville, who couldn't stop laughing. Atkins introduced Junior to country comedian Archie Campbell. The two made an album together, called it Bull Sessions at Bull's Gap on RCA, and that got them both signed to the TV show in 1969 called Hee Haw. That was one of the greatest little skits that they did. You know, Junior had used cars, and he'd say, "Call BR 549," with a crude hand-painted sign. That voice became one of the most famous recurring sketches in TV history. So famous that in 1993, a country band named themselves BRS 49 in his honor. So famous that when Hee Haw episodes were sold by mail order, the number was 1-800 BR5 4949. I think that is great. So, it says, and here's a detail that perfectly sums up who Junior was. At some point between seasons, he decided a comedian was funnier without front teeth. So he went to the dentist and had them all pulled. He said, "Just pull them out." Oh my God. Roy Clark nearly fell over when he showed up to set. Junior thought it was a great idea. He was twice, I mean, can you believe that somebody would have their teeth pulled just to be funny? He was twice nominated for Comedian of the Year by the Country Music Association. Not bad for a man who never planned to be a comedian at all. He was still on Hee Haw when he passed, still making people laugh, still Junior. If you work, you may get down, but you won't stay down, he told his children. Simple, pure, true Junior. So that was hysterical. That was hysterical. But I didn't know he'd had his teeth pulled out in order to complete the role. Now, he must have been making so much money, he was like, hell, I don't need those teeth. My God. So just thought I'd share that with you this morning. Thought that was a little lightness, a little story that we could use. We could use right here on WCRS. All right, what else did I have here this morning? Well, President Trump is doing a blockade over there in Iran. I'm not sure how it's going, but he's doing a blockade. Said that Iran will not get stuff in or out of there, which will, in the long haul, cause them problems because they need things in order for their societies to survive. I keep watching all these newscasters and everything talk about how the Ayatollah is and everything. But the one point they never seem to bring up is, that I have heard, not very much of anyways, is the fact that their religion they believe that they are going to heaven if they sacrifice themselves for the total domination of the world. So if we're talking about from our side how horrible this is, the loss of life, how many people, I think I heard a figure this morning, one day they just hanged 1,500 people. But we value life. They do not value life. So if you have a society that does not value life, that literally looks at it, if they die for the cause, then they will go to heaven and Allah will be pleased with them. Then how can you deal with that? Well, the only way you can deal with it is basically the way President Trump is. And I actually have a person, I don't know if we'll be able to get him on this week, maybe next week, who wants to come on and explain what their 8,000 years, I mean, in a shortened form, we're not going through all the details, but in a shortened form, why the society is and why we're not able to get anywhere with what you would consider typical warfare, where a country believes that death is bad and doesn't want to see their society destroyed. No, they don't feel that way in Iran. They feel like if the more people that die, the more people that are going to be with Allah, and they died for the cause because the cause is world domination. So I just wanted to bring that up. So we will try to get him on in the next, within the next few days, I hope, because this is very timely information. Oh, it is so unbelievable. So that is one thing that I wanted to talk about. Eric Swalwell. Well, I think everybody's talking about Eric Swalwell. He, of course, is a California representative. He was running for governor. He gave up running for governor, because everybody says you better get out. So he gave up running for that. He is accused. I think there's now 4 women that have come forth that he has that have claiming sexual molestation and everything. And the big thing about it is their stories are coming across as credible. Now, that's the thing about it. This is not some campaign smear. The Congress, the House of Representatives, was going to start a investigation into this. I think to try to avoid the investigation, he is going to resign from Congress. He's going to resign his House seat. So he's resigning his House seat. While they're at it and cleaning house up there, Tony Gonzalez is also going to not go for re-election. He's going ahead and getting out also. He is the one who had some type of sexual relationship and killed herself. So he's not going for re-election. He did drop out of a re-election campaign, and now he's getting out of Congress. You know, the thing about this is, why is there so many of these type of episodes coming to the fore right now? Well, you could say because it's election time. Well, probably. But you would think people, you know, you put your hand on the Bible, you swear to uphold the laws of the land. Should you not have a higher moral compass than even most of us? You would think you would, but they don't. They get a sense of power, a sense of ability to control other people's lives, and therein lies the problem. And that is why having people in Congress, in the legislature, year after year after year is not a good thing. They should change up. We should not keep the same people. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Where'd that come from, Ann? Oh, that's a famous saying. Oh, okay. All right. If you got a question or comment, want to weigh in on any of this stuff, you can, of course, weigh in on my Facebook page because we are Facebook Live, honey. So would love to have you chime in on that. 864-332-9355 is also where you can chime in also. If you have a comment, please feel free to make it. You can call or text on that line. If you just want to leave a call message, it is great. So you can do that too. But Representative Tony Gonzalez, he's out. Eric Swalwell's out. I wonder what that's going to do to the numbers, you know, because we've been dealing with, the House has been dealing with the fact that their numbers have been very, very slim. Like, what did they have? The Republicans had one extra vote, and that's it. So that'll be most interesting. Congress does come back in. The House comes back into session today after being off for a couple of weeks for Easter. And they're going to vote again on what they're going to do about the longest shutdown in American history. Now, it's not a complete shutdown, but Homeland Security, ICE, and the Coast Guard, FEMA, a couple of other agencies have never been funded. Those people have gone 2 months without pay. Now, they are getting paid, but still 2 months. So that is the longest shutdown in American history. And I don't see that they are any closer to getting this done. So, this, Eric Swalwell, what a prick. This is the person that had a high moral ground against Kavanaugh. Remember when he was saying, when all that smear campaign, that was a smear campaign on Kavanaugh when he was becoming a Supreme Court judge, he was saying things like he had, he should come clean with what he'd done and blah, blah, blah. Well, he hadn't done anything. Well, Swalwell was here because this was in the same time frame when he was having sexual affairs, sexual conquests of these gals. During that time period, that was 2024, I do believe. This is when a lot of these things happen. So not only that, he is married and he has three daughters. So this man is on a one-way trajectory down. They've been talking about how he's been sending naked pictures of himself. Who wants to see that? Turn out the lights. That's when you know that somebody has an zealous opinion of themselves, right? An overzealous opinion of himself. That's what I have to say here today, folks. So I wanted just to bring you up. I don't know if you're following it or not. It certainly isn't something that is very, very, it's rather distasteful to see someone that is in this situation and all the things that are said about Donald Trump, all the things that were said about Kavanaugh, all the things that anytime they have an opportunity, they try to blast any of the basically Republicans, but anyways, to blast them. And here we have, that's like the pot calling the kettle black, right? Anyways, I'm glad that he is out. I'm glad he doesn't have opportunity to be governor. The jungle, they call it the jungle primary over there in California. They let everybody that wants to try, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, can put your name in the hat, be campaigning. All the names go on the ballots, and the two top vote getters get to do the runoff for the election. They could be two Republicans, they could be two Democrats, they could be a Republican and a Democrat, like we do it here in South Carolina. But the bottom line is, it doesn't matter. It's just the two top vote getters. So that's a story that you really wish was not going on. You know, one of the things that this came out several years ago, and then you never hear anything about it. But the slush fund that they have up there in Congress to pay off indiscretions by Congress, I guess it could be men or women, and they pay out tens and tens and tens and thousands of dollars. I think who was it? The gal from Florida. I can't think of her name right now. A couple of years ago, she wanted that to go away. She tried to get some movement on it. It didn't. It's just a secret fund. And, you know, I wouldn't have any problem with it if it was a secret fund that every congressional person had to put, I don't know, $5,000 as insurance against being accused of something rightly or not rightly. You know, and they put their own money in and then they dispensed it how they saw fit. I guess I would not have a problem with that. I have a problem with that this is our money. They take taxpayer money, put it in a fund to pay off people that bring accusations against them, sexual or not. I mean, it doesn't matter. But any accusation, if they can take care of it with money, they use this slush fund. The problem is the slush fund is our money. It is taxpayer money. So the question is, how can this slush fund be done away with so that some of our money isn't going for their screw-ups, their people coming back against them saying this, that, and the other? Now, sometimes it is certainly more efficient just to pay something than to take it through a court thing and court case, etc. Some things are not worth their time. But if that is the case, why isn't each one of these individuals, the congressmen, excuse me, and the senators, why are they not paying up for this? I mean, why should we all pay for these things happening? Well, because it's public office and it's not really their fault. Hell yeah, it is their fault. If you get yourself in a crack, whose fault is it? Should your office, and you know, I think you can buy insurance for things like this. You know, there are all kinds of things that can happen. But why should we, the American public, and I don't know how much money is in that account, and Luna Polano, Anyway, she wanted to have all those. It wasn't that she wanted to do away with it, but the eventual goal would have been to do away with it. She wanted all those cases made public, transparent, since we, the people, were paying for this, so we could see who the bad actors were and what were the cases that we were paying for. Do you not think that was a good idea? Well, yeah, I think it's a good idea, but it's also a two-edged sword. It's a bad idea, but it's a good idea. Do we have perpetual bad actors up there that are always getting themselves in trouble? And, of course, people know that this slush fund to pay off claims and everything is sitting there. And how does the money get replaced? Do they have a line item in the budget that says, we need more money in the private slush fund? So-and-so's been taking a lot more money out of the account because of his screw-ups. I mean, how does this work? I think it's an interesting topic. I don't think anybody would ever want to talk about it, but I really would like to find out more about it. In fact, I just thought of somebody that could tell me about it and might be willing, since he's not in Congress anymore, might be willing to tell me about it. I'm going to have to check that out. Well, you are right. It is 10 o'clock in the great city of Greenwood, South Carolina, and you are listening to WCRS Radio. That just jacks my jaws. How about you? Yes. All right. So we've talked about that this morning. Okay. Okay, what else we got? Oh, it's Ben and Jerry's Free Cone Day. Where is Ben and Jerry's ice cream? We don't have one here, but every day on this date, they do a free cone. So if anybody, I don't know if there's one in Greenville or Columbia or Spartanburg. I don't know if there is one, but I just thought I'd put that out there. It's Ben and Jerry Free Cone Day. All right, now we have a... I don't even know what I wrote down there. I'll just forget about it, Ann. All right, I had another article I wanted to talk about here today. Okay, we could talk about this one here. Jacqueline DuBose. She is from Hartsville, South Carolina. She was the last Republican to join the race for governor. She is there's probably not any way that she will get any traction. But you know what? She doesn't really care. She's no way she's going to be on the debate stage. It says she is the 7th Republican to join the race to be South Carolina's next governor. She's running to save taxpayers' money on social safety net programs. This is a very interesting concept. And she's running because she doesn't, well, let me just read it. Jacqueline Hicks DuBose is the owner of a Hartsville cleaning company who also drives a bus for the Darlington County School District. The 61-year-old mother of 4 adult children said her campaign slogan, "Keeping South Carolina out of the red," which refers to keeping the red Republican-controlled state out of debt. So she thinks that well, let me just read it. She wants to do that, she said, by getting people back to work. DuBose officially launched her bid when she turned in her paperwork March 30th with just an hour left in the 2-week filing period. She expected to jump in a few months earlier, but had to wrap up legal work on her late mother's estate. Most of her competitors have been campaigning since last year and have raised and spent millions of dollars in their bid to replace Governor Henry McMaster in the first gubernatorial election in 16 years without an incumbent on the ballot. She hasn't reported raising any money. She doesn't have a campaign website yet, but she hopes media interviews will boost her name recognition, and she plans to set up booths at spring festivals around the state to talk to people about her platform. This is her second campaign for elected office. In 2022, she ran unsuccessfully for a seat on the Darlington County School Board. Regardless of the outcome of the governor's race, she said, her goal is to share her message. You have a purpose. For her, that means telling people who rely on government assistance that they need to be working. For people receiving Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program benefits, commonly called food stamps or SNAP, her mantra is, you don't work, you don't eat. You know, I like it. I like it. She said she lived by her beliefs. Last June, after being bitten by a brown recluse spider, she had to work less and change her diet to deal with symptoms. But she kept working as many hours as she could instead of applying for government aid, she said. On an average fiscal year, about 535,000 South Carolinians in more than 256,000 households receive SNAP benefits each month. About half of them are under 18 years old, and nearly a quarter are over 50, according to the State Department of Social Services. Non-disabled adults who don't have children can't receive SNAP benefits for more than 3 months over a 3-year period, unless they are working or complying with a work program. DuBose says she wants to change the state's eligibility requirements so that low-income adults need to be working to qualify for benefits, even if they have young children. So, interesting campaign. It said DuBose said she's used to people assuming that because she's a black woman, she votes for Democrats. But she believes the Democratic Party is not really, in my sight, healthy for colored people, in part because of the support of the social service programs. She believes they've resulted in separated families and dependency on the government. She has... Are you interested in that, Penny? Okay. She has yet to file any campaign disclosures with the State Ethics Commission, with one exception. The other gubernatorial candidates have posted their fundraising reports for the quarter ending March 31st. They show Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evette raising so far this election cycle nearly $3.5 million. That includes collecting $3.1 million in donations and almost $80,000 in non-cash contributions, plus loaning herself $300,000. She's also spent the most of anyone in the field at $2.5 million since she entered the race last July. As of March 31st, she had $931,000 available. The rest of the field, U.S. Representative Ralph Norman has raised $3.1 million. I know, which includes a $1.5 million loan to himself. He has almost $1.6 million available as of March 31st. Attorney General Alan Wilson has collected about $2.9 million total and had $1.8 million cash on hand as far as March 31st. Nancy Mace collected $2.2 million and had just under $800,000 available at quarter's end. And then Ron Reddy, who's pledged not to take any donations, put $2 million of his own money into the race he launched last month. He has about He has about $580,000 of that left when the quarter ended. Well, he's been spending money, and we on WCRS have not gotten any of it. I just want to go on the record with that one. Rom, we need some money over here at WCRS Radio. That's right. He had $2 million. He's got $580 left. Okay. As of Monday, this is a sad story. Senator Josh Kimbrell of Spartanburg hadn't filed his first quarterly report of 2026. His last filing showed he had collected $41,000 in donations as of December 31st, when he had less than $13,000 in his campaign account. So, then it goes on, and there's the Democrats, Charleston attorney Mullins McLeod, the one that was parading around in his underwear, became the first Democrat to announce a bid, raised $2.5 million. 95% of that was his own money. Well, he didn't really raise it then, folks. He had more than $1.2 million available as of the end of March. Upstate businessman Billy Webster had more than $274,000 available after spending little of what he's collected since joining the race less than a month ago. He's holding on to his money to the end. And State Representative Jermaine Johnson has raised $376,000 in donations since October, along with $7,000 in non-cash contribution. He had less than $100,000 available. So there you go. That's where the candidates stand in this horse race. They're going to be closing in. You're going to see lots of ads on TV, social media, radio. You know, everybody asks me every day, and why do you like radio so much? Why is radio a good place to advertise? It's very simple, and it is a true mantra. Radio is top of mind. You can advertise, you can put your stuff on social media, you can advertise on TV, but at some point during the day, most people are going to be in their car at no other time, and they're going to tune into their local radio station to hear what's going on. And when they hear an ad, whether it's a political ad, whether it's an ad for a product or a service, they may not need that product, service, legislative, political candidate. But when they do, subtly in the back of their brain, they're going to say, well, who should I vote for? Oh, I know. I heard that ad. I'll vote for that person. Or they need to buy a product, services, whatever it is they're looking for. They go, where can I get this done? And then they think, I know. I heard it on Ad Station. And that's the truth, because that's what people tell people. I heard it on Ad Station. It's actually WCRS, but they heard it on Ad Station. So I think that radio is one of the best bargains out there because it perpetually is putting it in their subconscious. When they need the product, they will hook you up, they will call you up, they will get with you. So that's why I'm so high on radio. I saw it work in our jewelry store. I've had people tell me how good it works for them day in and day out. Sometimes it doesn't work overnight. That's the thing. You've got to stay with the campaign. So I just wanted to bring that up because people are always asking me, why is radio good? All right, other things we got to talk about here this morning. We're going to finish up here in just a second. I did have a topic I wanted to talk about. I'm trying to remember what it was. Yep, I got it. What do we got? Oh my gosh. This child porn thing. This is just terrible. I just find it so hard to believe that this is the status of our world, and the grooming that goes on for getting children to be part of this and everything. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. I'm just looking at the news. Another South Carolina official arrested in child porn sting. I have no idea what this article is about. I'm just seeing it. Fed descends on the home of Hanahan City Councilman Kevin Hedgepeth. I guess it is. Federal authorities descended upon Hanahan, South Carolina residents of sitting city councilman and mayor pro tem Kevin Hedgepeth early Tuesday morning to serve a warrant in connection with an ongoing criminal investigation. That is horrible. This is just horrible. This will be all over the news. I mean, we'll learn more about it. I'm not going to spend any time on it now. But the very fact that this is the type of thing that is out there, it just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart for the children that are in this, that it's just terrible. By the way, there's a big article on Fitz News. Nikki Haley won't run for president in 2028. She's going to wait and see how it all shakes out. Yes. All right. What else do I have? We got some events to talk about. That's, I think, what we'll talk about to close this out. Let's see. The Tim Tebow event is Thursday night. And I want you to know They are, I got a note from Brenda here this morning. She goes, Ann, could you mention this on the radio? On the radio. Um, Let the people know about the signed football giveaway. Name automatically entered. I don't, so she says, do, so this is, you will automatically be entered in a raffle. How about that for this? And I think that is pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. So if you are going to the event, they are going to be raffling off. One lucky ticket will win a signed football by Tim Tebow. I think they're going to have some other things and maybe some silent auction stuff too. What do you say, Penny? What's the deal? So if you haven't got your tickets, get your tickets. Tickets are like $25 to go to this event. It is going to be well worth it. Tim Tebow in the house Thursday, and you can get your tickets at the event if you don't have the opportunity to get them before. You can get them at the event, so I highly recommend that you be there. It's really going to be a fantastic event. And you know, Tim Tebow is he just he has a way with bringing people to the table and speaking from his heart, and I think that is what we all would like to hear. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I hope you will be there. For anybody that remembers the sound issues from last year, that is not going to be the problem this year. And Brenda wanted me to make sure that everybody knew that, because she was totally embarrassed by the fact that it was a problem last time. So please know that that is part of it. But we have a lot going on with events. If I could try to get to them, I would tell you about them. Plant sale this weekend. The America 250, at Troy at Wisteria Park. That's at 1 o'clock on Saturday. That is going to be the installation of these interpretive signs talking about the battle there. So let me let you see what Penny's doing here. The interpretive sign will be installed. They'll have refreshments. They've got a great program that they are going to be doing. That's at 1 o'clock in Troy. Plant sale they've got a big plant sale going on. So I suggest that we all get out there, and for some reason Penny has decided that I need to get off the air. This afternoon my very special guest is Stephanie Turner. We're going to be talking about all the plant sales, all the things going on. So make sure that you are checking out all the places to get plants. Let's see, why can't I get to where I want to get to this morning? Because of the dog. Because of the dog, and that's right, because of the dog. Okay, I know. Let me get there, and we're going to go through these real quick. This is not good, Ann. You've got Penny who is taking up the time here, and this is not good. All right, where is it? There it is, right there. All right, let's go through some of these events that are happening this weekend. Tim Tebow is Thursday night, 6:30 at Phineas Horn Arena right there at Lander. So make sure that you join us over there. As I said, tickets are $25. If you have young people, they actually can get in for free. I'm talking about, oh God, I don't know the age, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds, they can get in for free. They also have some $5 tickets too, $5 tickets available. So that's a good one. Thursday evening, Brenda really, Crossroads Women's Center really wants to make sure that everybody gets to hear this. So if you are a student, if you are a teacher, Bible school teacher, whatever, would like to take a group on a Thursday evening, she thinks you couldn't do any better, and I agree with her, than to bring them to hear Tim Tebow. So we will be there. We hope you will be there. Also coming up this Saturday at 8 a.m., Pickle for Good News, the charity event benefiting Child Evangelism Fellowship. You did need to sign up for that, but if you have not, you might just see if you can still get in there. That is going to be going on too. So, let's see, what else do we have here? This Saturday at 9 a.m., it is the Earth into Art sale, Earth Day, at the Art Center of Greenwood. That is going on. That'll be a good event. They'll have pottery by local potters, all in celebration of Earth Day coming up. So that's another good event. Here's the Master Gardeners are having a plant sale. God, Penny, don't do that. Lakeland's Master Gardeners plant sale. That is going on from 9 to 2 over there at the 808 South Emerald Road. That is actually behind the Agency on Aging, Piedmont Agency on Aging. So check that out. And here's another event, an NRA Youth Hunter Education Competition. Presents the Youth Hunter Education Competition, NRA, shotgun rifle, archery, and orienteering competitions. Call 864-344-7851. April 18th, 9 to 3. That is in Bradley, 711 Union School Road in Bradley. So again, there's all these things to do, and it's just exciting. It's just exciting. I also want to remind you, don't forget the Kentucky Derby is coming to the museum. You don't want to forget about this event. It is a signature event. It is just the best event ever, and so looking forward to that. You do need to get your tickets from the museum, 864-229-7093. Bourbon tasting, wine pools, you name it, they got it going on. Hat contest. It is one that is going to be a whole lot of fun for everybody. It's an opportunity to dress up, dress in your Kentucky Derby finest. You will also have delicious food, Kentucky Derby style food like bourbon balls, Kentucky Derby pie. And don't forget the brown sliders. The brown, I think I missed the words up. But anyways, it's these very special sliders that are quite delicious. So all these things in our community. You don't have to go anywhere. You just have to sign up and participate. That's pretty much what I wanted to talk about this morning. Let's see. That's going to do it for me this afternoon. Oh, my God. This afternoon, Stephanie Turner will be right here with us, will she? Will you be interviewing Penny? Yes, I will. You're going to be interviewing. Okay, so Princess Penny says she will be here this afternoon. She hopes you will join us. You are listening to WCRS Radio right here in Greenwood, South Carolina. I appreciate each and every one of you who tune in and put up with my craziness right here on the radio. But it is a job I sincerely enjoy. So thank you very much for listening, tuning in. And again, if you've got a comment or a question, 864-332-9355. We will now, because Penny seems to have something she wants me to do, she's staring at me, we will now put the curtain down and say adieu. Have a great day. See you at 5 on the radio and on Facebook Live. Take it away. Bye-bye, everybody.